Empty list. Empty list. End. 0. 0. BT Comtop Menu more. BT Comtop Menu flip camera glow 46x. BT Comtop Menu 46x. Button. BT Comtop Menu more glow 4. Empty list. Empty list. End. 0. 0. BT Comtop Menu flip camera. BT Comtop Menu more glow 4. BT Comtop Menu flip BT Comtop Menu flip camera. BT Comtop Menu more glow 46. BT Comtop BT 0. 20. 0. End. Empty list. Empty list. End. 0. 0. BT Comtop. End.
Oh, come on, this is getting a joke.
End. End. Empty list. Empty list. End. 0. 0. 50. BT Comtop Menu flip camera glow 46x. Button. BT Comtop Menu flip camera. BT Comtop Menu flip camera. BT Comtop Menu more glow 40. BT Comtop. BT 0. 0. End. Button. 1x. 2. Front. Rear.
There we go. Why did it take us all our time to do that? Someone tell me. Oh well. So we're going to do 10, 20 minutes, 30 minutes or so of driving your own vision. And I thought I wanted to talk communities first of all. Because we're going to be covering it in most of the live streams. So the question that I get a lot in these streams is, in the videos, the driving videos, is how do you guide your own community? And the answer to that is the answer to that is literally making sure that you are putting the right people in the driving seat. If you haven't got the right people in the driving seat, what's the point in, doing your own, in having communities? It's where it's all...
You. Now, the young cool teacher. Recommended. Monica Geldot. Attachment.
It stems... Well, it all stems from... Of course, we spoke many times before on making sure you know where you're going with things, because if you don't, you're going to fail on many, many levels. And we don't set people up to fail. That's not what we're about. That's not what we, I know a lot of people have probably asked the same. They've asked for the same thing, or they want the same thing. But you have to know what your targets are. Because obviously you don't know what you're going into. You've got to have a navigator and you've got to have a driver and your navigator can't do. I've just done a community video. It's going to be a midweek one now. So I talk about this in having the navigator and having the driver. Two very different things. And you have to, you have to not be frightened to take risks within your community. Toxic people don't work in a community. Toxic people always want things. I mean, everybody has wants and needs, but toxic people, they're the ones that want to destroy a community, and they'll do it whichever means they wish to, whether it's money, whether it's other means. Hang on a minute. Neil, it stopped coming through on my end. Yep. It stopped coming through on my end. Well, I've got it on in there.
What's not coming through?
The pipes, Neil. I've got them on my end, but it's not coming through. You have to press the button. There we go. Yeah. I mean, the toxicity happens in a lot of communities. But, yeah. It happens, where, but, how am I going to stop? Is NLP a way where we can use to drive our communities? You should be programming your communities to do a lot. Because if you don't, what's the point? You might as well give up. You might just like, right, that's it. I don't know what to do in my community. Screw your whole community. What's the point? I might as well walk out the room now and not give you this lesson. But we're working on putting together some information. We're going to have a podcast, and we're doing so much more with this. So give it a few weeks and there'll be a toolkit. Nothing that you don't know won't be in that, because we think that everybody needs, a little something. Hello to the tedious badger. I don't know who the hell you are, but I checked you up, mate, and your page is pretty awesome. Yeah. So, getting back to communities, because this is what everyone wants to know, right? you have to have a navigator and you have to have a driver. And the navigator has to literally, I guess, show you the way. I mean, we all need a way, right? We all need a way to be shown. We're not, everybody's like lost. When they have a project or they may have something, they may have 1,000 questions. Usually when you've got questions, you're usually lost. Because it's then when you've got questions, you don't know where to turn or you don't know where to go, and you think, oh, maybe I can't ask them, because if I ask them, maybe they won't I don't know, but we have to engineer our communities. We have to steer our groups on course and go, like now.
WhatsApp, now. Sophia Henschel's memories. Microphone. Voice message.
A community starts small. The stepping stones, for example. We're now a community. We've now got awesome people in our community. Let's hold them in our hand. And let's work with them. Let's start being friends with the people within our community and say, hey, come aboard. We'll work with you. Or can you work with us?
Now, John's mobile at Henschel's memories. Microphone. Voice message.
It's getting aboard that ship and making sure that ship sails. I mean, a lot of people have asked on the previous series, they watched the first two.
WhatsApp.
No.
Matt Carter at Henschel's memories.
They jump
Microphone.
to
Voice message.
episode 4 and they say,
WhatsApp. Now. Sophie at Henschel's memories.
Getting rich
Microphone.
quick
Voice message.
and procrastination, aren't they the two things? Well, getting rich quick will not get you anywhere. I mean, everybody wants to cut corners, right? And the reason they want to cut corners is because they want the money, right? So, I mean, I've said this in earlier episodes.
WhatsApp. Now. John's mobile at Henschel's memories.
I
Microphone.
do not
Voice message.
advocate for cutting corners, because that is not going to get you anywhere. You have to take the long route. It doesn't matter if you're going to make mistakes, but if you cut corners, you're going to make mistakes and it's just going to fold. It's like an avalanche, or on a mountain. You try and cut across. In fact, the get rich quick people,
WhatsApp. Now.
They-
Sophie at Henschel's memories.
they don't want to go along
Voice
the
message.
path that's set for them. They just want to cut straight across to where they think the money is, and they end up in a ditch somewhere. Or stumble upon some fork in the road because they've not seen where there is a path, or they've got lost and instead of retracing their steps to get back to the path, they've just carried on.
WhatsApp.
And
Now. John's mobile at
that's
Henschel's memories.
when
Microphone. Voice message.
the problems arouse, because those people don't see where that is. You have to have quite a few things.
WhatsApp. Now. Matt Carter at Henschel's memories. Microphone. Voice message.
And creation, innovation is key. It's what you have. A lot of people, if you give them a blank canvas with nothing on, they'll want the person to fill the blank canvas in. That's where a lot of these
WhatsApp.
fakes
Now. John's mobile at Henshaw's
come in.
memories. Microphone. Voice
A lot of
message.
these fraudsters, they have no idea. They'll say, hey, we've created something. Where's the creation come? There's been no creation in it whatsoever. Absolutely none. And anyway, so you want somebody to teach you something. Well, here I am. I'm going to teach you this, right? Stay clear of get-rich-quick people. When they say, hey, look at me, I'm in the Hollywood Hills with my big fast car and my big house, they're hiding behind all that. They're still living in that trailer. They're still living in the squalor that they, because they haven't, they're still chasing dreams, my friend. And they're still sitting on the sidelines. But they're dragging you down with them. They say, hey, join this course. Hey? I knew a friend who had a record shop. I tell this story all the time. He had a record shop. It was one of the Make It workshops that they had. It was, and to be honest, it was great. It was doing good. Ray at the time was letting him take a cut from the project. But his mistake was, Andy's mistake, the guy at the record shop, was not imaginary Andy. His mistake was he thought that it wasn't working. He wanted big. And so he dropped the record shop. He went into the big shop. He had big ideas, but the big ideas didn't work out. I mean, he had great ideas, but he lost his way. Now, if he kept to the small idea, the record shop, if he still kept hold of that and thought, right, I'm going to keep the record shop, and then people come in and buy records. Because people need record shops. And in fact, the location where it was is now, and I bet he was kicking himself because someone else has gone in now, and what are they doing now? They're selling records and jukeboxes. And their name is John Savage. And I spoke to John Savage about this, and he said, I'm doing better than him or something. Can't remember his very words, but yeah. It's a bit of a sore subject for John Savage now because he's told us to be quiet about the record shop. But it's because he's doing better. And that's where competition comes in. That's the business side. That could have happened. But this is the lesson of when you start small. He wanted to be big, which is fine. But you make too many mistakes by trying to go big at once. It's a lot of people say I'm talking bullshit when you say start small, work big. Why can't you just go working big? I'm not saying you can't, but you have to be prepared. I mean, you look at Elon Musk, right? You look at what he's done. Now, he's done the very same thing. He's had Twitter, he's got the Tesla, but the thing with Elon Musk is he's probably bored with it. and frustrated with it.
BT Comtop Minu More Glow 46x46. Button. More.
You know, which is why, you know, but you have to weigh these things up. You know, businesses need communities, communities need businesses. That is a statement, you know, that is something you can't get away from. That's what you can't get away from. What you don't realise is these people who lead communities, they know what the community needs. But
WhatsApp. Now. Sophie at Henshaw's memories.
what do they
Microphone.
need?
Voice message.
What do they need? That's important. What do they need? So it's usually a big ask. I mean, we all want a big slice of the pie. Who doesn't? I mean, I can't teach. I tell you what I know, I'm not a guru at anything. I've said that in my imagination spirituality videos. I would like to tell you what I know because then it saves you people trying to Google it for something. And who knows? I may one day be bigger or have a big company that I'll know what to do with. But that's all to do with communication systems and knowing what to do with them. I remember in my pretend building film, which I've still got now, I've had to rebuild all that. Where I am now, this is where the advertisement company is Machanhil Productions. We do everything from here. And we will be doing more YouTube stuff from here. At the moment, we're just keeping to advertisements, but it would be good if we could use another space. But that's, you know, one of the reasons. But one of the things that we've asked for is just, you know, this, that, and the other. But we haven't looked at what resources we've got ourselves, so that's usually a mistake we make on our part. But the building company, when we started out in when we started out in Arnside Road, story time for you all now. We didn't have computers, social media, what you have now. We did get a toy computer, actually. I gave it to somebody in the Make It workshop, so I swapped it for a mouse off a toy laptop, which I've now added to this laptop. So anyway, it's upstairs actually in the drawer because I broke the bracket off. Anyway, we started out with phones. We had one desk phone, one mobile phone, a pen and a paper. And that back then was very limited. It was very limited. We had to use letters. If anybody knows what snail mail's like, a lot worse than email. A lot slower. You have to rely on the people delivering the mail. Right? The person who was breathing down our necks at the time, Jack Anderson, He wanted us to be stuck in the 1930s, the 1940s. But time moves on. So we did get a toy laptop, which we still got, the CamQuest toy laptop. We'll show it off properly in a video at some point. We got that from a car boot sale. My real dad got it for me. And we put batteries in it, and then somebody, a guy from Slovakia called Matus, he was learning Braille, and he said, I will do the Braille keys for you, and he stuck the Braille on the keys for me. That's how I knew. And then so we had that laptop in the office, and we had a toy fax machine. That came before the toy laptop. That came before the CamQuest. And we weren't, it frightened Jack, us wanting to push the technology. We went from phones, fax machines, we had a Motorola phone. That was pretty fast. Jack didn't know how good that was. If he'd have known, we wouldn't have been allowed that in the office, but we had that, and it was fast. It was a colour phone. Camera phones came before smartphones. So we had this colour phone, this Motorola. It was fast, and we had that. And then we thought, we can email and fax, right? We need the internet. Not we need the internet. So when we got it in our office, we had to sneakily, we got the people from BT, we couldn't upgrade the modem after that, because Jack found out, unfortunately. So we were using the technology. In fact, I remember when instant messaging came in. That's when Jack found out we were using the internet. When instant messaging came in the office. And he said, tell your staff not to use MSN. Message, whatever. He didn't like it. But I did. And I said, who's doing MSN on their break time? I said, tomorrow, you use MSN and you use eBay. Wow. We'd sold a deal. In fact, we sold something in the space of 20 minutes. Because we had them on MSN first, then we took them straight over to eBay. Sending the links through MSN. So, today, that seems pretty normal. But back then, I'm talking 2005. People were just getting used to instant messaging. To us, it was pretty cool. You could sit in the office, send out the message within the space of a second. We were the first to use instant messaging in the way that people use it today. Because what we did was, I remember we had a team out in Liverpool, and we sent out on, I think was it when Google Messaging came in? We sent on Google Messenger, we sent it off on MSN Messenger, but we did it on Google too. So we sent this picture out, and the inspection was done in 30 minutes. And we did an email too, because we thought, why don't we do two things? We sent an email message and an instant message. And what do you think was the quickest? The instant message. So I texted the people on site, look, I've sent them this, I've done that, I want the inspection back within this amount of time. People were sending things within 30 seconds. Now, instant messaging, if you think now, the power of instant messaging. They're using things like WhatsApp, Messenger, Instagram, TikTok. There are a lot of instant messaging platforms out there. Telegram. And the thing is, these instant messaging platforms are fast. You send something in 10 minutes, somebody reads it. How many people get that message? You know? Emails are a pain in the neck because, like, you know, you get them in the space. Like, emails aren't very fast, but the advantage of an email is you can control an email. So there are some things you're best sending in an email and some things you're best sending in instant message. And our company uses Mighty Network because we can put something in there, we can post something in there, and we can control 100%. Can't do that on Facebook or anywhere else. So what does that say? I mean, your workforce is a community. You've got both sides of the coin. I mean, what's the next gen thing going to be? You've got to be quick and you've got to go, right, well, I know what this is going to be. I'm going to go out there and teach my people. If you're in retail, for example, you don't need to have the shop. You could just have your bedroom. In fact, you don't need an office now. You just need a laptop and a good, strong team of people. You can automate things out if you know how to do it. There's a lot of bots out there that are doing the work of, crumbs, 20, 30 people in an office. My team's actually got bigger because we have freelancers for the advertisement company. The building company is getting big slowly because we've got more contractors. So my workload gets a lot bigger, but I'll talk about that in another video, I think. But for the first time in a long, long time, I can step back. When I come into the office, I only need to do what's in front of me. I don't know if you've ever heard this, but do you remember when you were a kid and you were at a party and you want to go for more food and your parents would say to you, eat what's on your plate first. You'd want dessert and they'd say, eat what's on your plate first. It's the same thing. When I'm here, I want to go to the building company and see what's there. Or when I'm at the building company, I want to see what's here. But if I'm at my desk, I have to do what's there in front of me. Otherwise, it won't get done. And we have to eat the frog. There's a term called eating the frog. Anyway, I'm going to end this stream, and I hope you've taken from it what you will, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday. We're going to do lives from now on, because people can interact with them, and that's how we want it. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye for now.